Welcome back to Her Hoops, the home of unapologetic truth-telling, high-octane drama, and the real stories shaping basketball culture. And today we might have witnessed one of the funniest, pettiest, and most chaotic crossovers between the WNBA and NBA that we've ever seen. Because out of all the insults, jokes, and heckles an NBA player could hear, one fan picked the absolute nuclear option. He called Draymond Green Angel Reese, and Draymond lost it.
Because Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green got called out by a fan last night because Draymond was having a very familiar kind of shooting night when it comes to layups. Now, you may be like, boy, that does sound familiar, Rhodes. What kind of layup situation do we have? Well, we got a layup situation where he wasn't making them. He wasn't making them. And a NBA fan that was courtside decided to point this out.
We've all seen Draymond get heated before, at refs, at opponents, at teammates, but this time, it wasn't a shove or a kick or a flagrant foul. It was a word, a name, a WNBA star's name that set him off like somebody pushed the giant red self-destruct button on his patience. In the middle of a road game, with cameras rolling, referees watching, and fans loving every second, Draymond Green walked straight toward a courtside fan, chest puffed, face tight, ready to explode.
You've now got like actual news articles. Golden State forward Draymond Green went nearly chest to chest with a fan during the Warriors road game. A fan who identified himself as Sam Green was wearing a black polo with a Pelicans logo, and he's standing and cheering after Draymond Green had been called for shooting foul while guarding Herb Jones. Well, the players began taking their positions in the key. Draymond strode over the grinning fan, stood there just inches away from him as they spoke to one another, with the fan holding his arms out on each side. Game officials quickly stepped in. Sam Green said he was taunting Draymond Green with chants of Angel Reese because while the Warriors had several rebounds, he hadn't attempted.
All because the fan yelled the now iconic two-word burn, Angel Reese. And let's be honest, this insult wasn't random. Everyone in basketball knows the meme, missed layup, offensive rebound, missed layup, offensive rebound, repeat. It's become so synonymous with Angel Reese's game that even Draymond's own stat line that night looked like a copy-paste version of a Sky versus Liberty highlight reel. So the fans saw it. The fans said it. Draymond took it personally.
Confronted. Draymond, you this thin-skinned? Confronted by a fan because he was called Angel Reese for missing layups. Now, let's just take a look at this. Green Bay Soldier put this up. That's a good follow, by the way. Right here. This was Draymond's action he had going on. Miss layup. Miss putback layup. Miss putback layup.
And just like that, one WNBA name triggered one NBA veteran so badly, he nearly walked himself into another suspension. But here on Her Hoops, we don't just cover the moment, we break down the why behind the madness. Why did the Angel Reese comparison cut Draymond so deeply? What does this hilarious meltdown say about NBA ego versus WNBA reality? And why is this crossover incident blowing up both leagues at the same time? Stay with us, because it gets even crazier.
It was nothing to do with him not attempting shots. It was about him constantly missing. It was about him constantly missing and getting his own rebound. Like look, Angel Reese has trademarked the term me-bound. She has trademarked the term me-bound. Like, it is something that Angel Reese does better than anyone since Moses Malone. Like, she's trademarked the term. Like he caught 5 me-bounds. Angel Reese has trademarked the damn term me-bounds. Like, to say Angel Reese is not benefiting off that is incorrect, because Angel Reese is the greatest me-bounder of all time.
To understand why this moment detonated the way it did, you have to understand the layers behind it, the history, the ego, the reputation, and the tension that's been simmering around both Draymond Green and Angel Reese for months. Because this wasn't just a random insult tossed out by a bored fan. This was surgical trolling, and it struck right at the public narratives both players are living inside. Let's start with Draymond Green. For years, he's built a reputation as one of the NBA's loudest, toughest, most confrontational players.
Ta-da! Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses layup, blocked by Jonquel Jones. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese misses a layup, blocked by Jonquel Jones. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Misses layup. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. It officially sounds completely familiar.
a defensive mastermind who talks trash like it's oxygen. A guy who's made a career out of being the enforcer, the one who dishes it out, not the one who gets rattled by a heckle from row one. But recently, the shine has worn off. The league doesn't fear Draymond the way it used to. Fans see him as a walking technical foul, a meltdown waiting to happen, a veteran struggling to stay impactful on a Warriors team that's no longer dominating the West. So when a fan noticed Draymond racking up rebound after rebound without converting a single easy shot, the comparison to Angel Reese wasn't just a joke, it was a direct hit at his pride. Now flip to Angel Reese, a star who's been one of the most polarizing, talked about players in all of basketball. Whether you love her or hate her, there's no denying this. Nobody gets under people's skin like Angel Reese. She's outspoken. She's competitive. She leans into the spotlight. She sells merch. She trademarked Me Bounds. She's built an entire brand out of dominating the glass, fighting through contact, and embracing the hate. So when a fan called Draymond Angel Reese, they weren't insulting her. They were insulting him. They were saying, "You play like her. You miss like her. You rebound your own misses like her. You're not the tough guy anymore." And Draymond knew it. That's why he reacted. That's why he got in the fans' face. That's why the clip blew up the internet. Because this insult wasn't about gender, it was about identity. And Draymond Green couldn't handle being compared to a WNBA player who's currently getting more headlines, more attention, and more cultural traction than he is. And now the story is spiraling into something even bigger than the moment itself. All right, now that we know why this moment hit as hard as it did, let's break down exactly what happened, step by step, because the sequence of events is almost too perfect to be real. It starts with Draymond Green doing Draymond Green things, flying around the court, hustling, grabbing boards, and then bricking every layup he put up. Over and over. Miss, miss, miss. Rebound, miss again. It looked like the highlight reel nobody wants to be on. The NBA version of Angel Reese's infamous missed layup parade. Except Draymond wasn't doing it on purpose to pad his rebound stats. And right there, courtside, was a Pelicans fan who saw the pattern forming. A guy who knew exactly what he was witnessing. A guy who saw an opportunity too good to waste. So he started chanting. Quiet at first, then louder. Then clearly enough for Draymond to hear. Angel Reese! Angel Reese! Once, twice, again and again. And Draymond, who usually thrives off noise, who claims to love road disrespect, suddenly froze. You could almost see the gears turning in his head. Wait, is he calling me Angel Reese? Is he calling me Angel Reese? From that point on, the game became secondary. Draymond locked eyes with the fan, walked several steps closer, ignored his teammates, ignored the refs, ignored the possession. He zeroed in on the man chanting the WNBA star's name. By the time the next whistle blew, Draymond wasn't even pretending to hide his anger. He marched straight to the fan, got inches from his face, and started talking. Or more accurately, warning. Security comes over. Refs intervene. The fan just stands there, smiling like he knows he's about to be a viral sensation. Draymond later tells reporters, "He kept calling me a woman. It was funny at first, but you can't keep doing that." But the fan cleared it up immediately. He wasn't calling him a woman. He wasn't insulting femininity. He wasn't even talking trash about the WNBA. He was doing something far more devastating. He was comparing Draymond to a player who often goes viral for missed layups, even though she outperforms him in today's basketball headlines. That's what made this different. That's what made it sting. And that's what transformed a harmless chant into an NBA meltdown for the ages. Now this is where the situation goes from funny to revealing to downright explosive. Because once the clip hit social media, it wasn't just a moment anymore. It became a conversation, a debate, a culture clash. And suddenly, Draymond wasn't just reacting to a heckle. He was being exposed by the very dynamics he spent years pretending he's above. Here's the truth. Draymond Green can call it disrespect all he wants, but the only reason this insult hit him so hard is because it came from the WNBA world. If a fan had called him Ben Simmons, he would have laughed. If they'd called him Russell Westbrook, he would have barked back. If they'd said, "You shoot like Shaq," he'd probably smirk. But Angel Reese? That got under his skin. Why? Because Angel Reese represents a reality Draymond doesn't want to confront. The WNBA is trending. The NBA isn't. The WNBA's stars are dominating social media. Their highlights go viral daily. Their names carry weight, cultural weight. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson. These players are shaping the conversation in a way the NBA hasn't in years. It's not about skill comparison. It's about cultural relevance. And for a guy like Draymond, who spent a decade building himself into a voice of basketball culture, being compared to a WNBA player hits differently when that league is getting more attention than his own team. So, when the fan yelled Angel Reese's name, Draymond didn't hear, "You miss layups." He heard, "You're not the center of the basketball universe anymore." And that's why he snapped. And trust me, the internet went wild with it. Memes, edits, side-by-side clips of Angel Reese offensive rebounds versus Draymond missing point-blank layups. People calling it the ultimate two-birds-one-stone insult. Even WNBA fans piled on. Funny how being compared to Angel Reese is an insult to him, but she's more relevant than the Warriors this season. But the most explosive part wasn't the memes. It was Draymond himself, still trying to dodge saying Angel Reese's name in the post-game interview. He kept calling her a woman. He kept acting like the insult was about gender. He refused to admit the truth. It wasn't sexist, it was accurate. And the more he avoided saying her name, the more obvious it became. Draymond Green didn't want to be compared to Angel Reese, because deep down, he knew the comparison wasn't far off. Now let's zoom in deeper, past the memes, past the emotion, past the surface-level drama, and look at the basketball reality behind this moment. Because whether Draymond Green likes it or not, the comparison to Angel Reese isn't just a troll. It's not just a joke. It's not even just a meme. It's actually rooted in stylistic truth. Let's break it down. Angel Reese has built her WNBA identity around two elite skills: relentless offensive rebounding, second chance scoring through sheer effort, length, and physicality. In college, it made her a national sensation. In the WNBA, it's made her a walking double-double machine. Is she polished? No. Is she a dominant finesse scorer? Not yet. Does she miss a lot of point-blank shots and grab her own rebound over and over? Absolutely. And she embraced it so hard she literally trademarked the word "me-bounds." That's not insecurity, that's branding genius. Now take Draymond Green. In 2024-25, his scoring isn't just inconsistent, it's almost non-existent. He's more of a connector, a passer, a screen setter, a defender. But finishing around the rim? That part of his game has fallen off a cliff. On some nights, he'll grab 3, 4, even 5 offensive boards on a single possession, because he simply cannot convert. So when a fan sees that pattern and yells, "Angel Reese!" they're not calling him soft. They're not calling him feminine. They're calling him inefficient. They're saying, "You play like someone who has to rebound their own misses because they can't finish." That's what cut him. Because even though Angel Reese openly owns her flaws and turns them into marketing gold, Draymond is the opposite. He hides his flaws behind bravado, ego, and volume. He has to be right. He has to be in control. He has to appear dominant even when he's not. And that's why this comparison hurt him in a place stats don't measure: perception. Draymond sees himself as an elite basketball mind. Angel Reese is seen as a work-in-progress star thriving off hustle and marketing. Being compared to her by a fan loudly during a game strips away the persona Draymond tries to project. Even deeper, Angel Reese's rise represents a cultural shift. WNBA players are getting endorsements, headlines, and visibility that NBA role players haven't seen in years. So when Draymond snapped, it wasn't about the name. It was about being forced to confront a truth he didn't want to face. In 2025, Angel Reese moves the culture more than he does. Alright, now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Because what just happened between Caitlin Clark and that Fever reporter isn't just a tense moment. It's not just a clip. And it's definitely not just social media drama. This situation exposes something much deeper, something structural, something that's been brewing long before Caitlin ever put on that Indiana jersey. Because here's the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's an industry. She's a movement, a disruption, a gravitational force pulling the entire WNBA into a new orbit. And when you have a player that powerful, that influential, and that closely watched, everything shifts. Media expectations change, team dynamics change, public pressure explodes, and suddenly, every tiny facial expression becomes a headline, every bit of tension becomes a narrative, every misunderstanding becomes evidence of something bigger. This is what happens when the spotlight gets too bright. It stops illuminating, it starts exposing. And what Caitlin Clark just exposed, intentionally or not, is the uncomfortable disconnect between how the WNBA wants to grow and how it actually handles its growth. Because on one side, you have a league begging for media attention, pleading for coverage, asking fans to take them seriously. But on the other side, you have reporters who don't always approach their role with the professionalism or consistency that major league growth requires. The result? A superstar stuck in the middle, forced to deal with unnecessary tension created by people who should be helping elevate the sport, not dragging it sideways. And this moment also exposes something about fan culture. Caitlin Clark fans and WNBA traditionalists are constantly clashing online, turning every interview into a culture war. Now this little face reaction becomes proof for both sides. Proof of disrespect, proof of bias, proof of tension, proof of a divided league. But here's what they're missing. This isn't about Caitlin versus reporter. This is about a league still figuring out how to handle fame at a scale it has never seen before. Caitlin is ushering in a new era, an era where everything is under scrutiny. And if the WNBA wants to thrive, not just survive, moments like this will have to be handled with maturity, accountability, and professionalism from every side. Because if the league can't manage tension, it certainly can't manage growth. So here we are, the moment where all the threads come together. A single facial reaction, a single flash of frustration, a single reporter, and suddenly, the entire WNBA is staring into a mirror it cannot avoid. Because Caitlin Clark didn't say anything. She didn't criticize anyone. She didn't escalate the moment. All she did was react, honestly, humanly, in a way every athlete has at some point in their career. But the reaction to her reaction? That's where everything becomes clear. This league is no longer operating in the shadows. It's no longer protected by anonymity or small market coverage. It's not the underdog league anymore. Not with Caitlin in it. Not with the attention she commands. Not with the spotlight she drags into every gym, every road trip, every post-game podium. And the reality is harsh. The WNBA is still adjusting to the weight of relevance. Every storyline feels bigger. Every disagreement feels deeper. Every glance feels like a scandal. This moment, Caitlin looking disgusted at a reporter, became a symbol because the league isn't used to the level of scrutiny that finally comes with having a superstar who moves culture, ticket sales, TV ratings, and national interest all at once. But here's the plot twist. Here's the part nobody talks about. Here's the real truth. Caitlin Clark didn't create this tension. She exposed it. She exposed the growing gap between the league's ambition and its execution. between the coverage it wants and the professionalism it sometimes lacks, between the fans who love her and the ones who resent the attention she brings, between old WNBA politics and new WNBA possibilities. This isn't negativity. This isn't drama for clicks. This is the growing pain of a league finally stepping into the mainstream, a process that was never going to be smooth. So what happens now? What happens after this moment? What happens after the clip spreads, the headlines pop, and the debate explodes online? What happens is simple. The WNBA has a choice: grow up or get left behind. Because Caitlyn isn't slowing down, her impact isn't fading, her voice isn't shrinking. And whether the league likes it or not, she is the face of this new era. An era that demands accountability, respect, and real standards from everyone involved. Fans deserve better, players deserve better, and yes, even Caitlyn deserves better. So if the league wants to rise with her, it's time to match the moment. Not fight it, not fear it, not resent it. Match the moment. Thank you for watching. And if you want more fearless, unfiltered WNBA breakdowns like this, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Her Hoops. Because trust me, this story, this era, this revolution, we're just getting started.